Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Welcome back to Real Talk with Reginald D. So glad you can join me today. 2022 is gone. Now it's 2023. Let me ask you a question. Now that 2023 is here, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with your life in 2023? Are you going to stay status quo with your life? Or will you decide to be greater in this year? In this thing called life, it's all about making decisions. The things you need to really focus on is making this thing called life as happy and successful in every aspect in the year 2023. This new year stands before you like a chapter in a book, waiting to be written. Let me ask you this question. What is your life going to write in this new chapter? How the chapter turns out will depend on what you are going to do with your life in chapter 2023. The power is in you to make this thing called life great and this chapter great. Now I need you to listen to this. You can't dwell in the past in this new chapter. You may have lost a relationship, lost friends, or even went through a divorce. I know it's probably been challenging to your mind and keeping you in some type of depression, but you need to realize that they're gone. They're just like the year 2022. It's gone and you can't get it back. You got to move on. You have to remember this. In this thing called life, there are far more better things ahead of you than anything you left behind. Check this out. The reason people can't stay in your life is because God saw more value in you than you saw in yourself. He had to remove them because they couldn't see and value your worth, and he saw that they would end up doing more harm than good to you. Now I need you to know, in this thing called life, you have to be grateful for everything you went through in 2022. Your life taught you a lesson in 2022. You just have to study it and learn from it, and then you will know what to do and what not to do going forward in this thing called life in 2023. I need you to know what the new year brings to you will depend a great deal on what you bring to the new year. What you bring into your life is going to determine how your life is going to be in this year. If you bring passion, dedication, and hard work to this thing called life, then greatness will meet you there. Your life is so special. That feeling you have inside that makes you want to be great and makes you want more, guess what that is? That's life speaking to you. Your life deserves to be great. Your life deserves happiness and is created for a purpose. The reason you desire these things is because your life is starving for it. Listen to me. The stomach of your life is growling because it's hungry for happiness, it's hungry for greatness, and it's hungry for purpose. In this thing called life, you have to feed your life with positive things that can give your life happiness, greatness, and purpose. Let me ask you this question. What happens when something starves for so long? It dies, right? Your life can't afford that and definitely don't deserve that. Now, I need you to understand that in this thing called life, you can't start over. I often hear people say that they're going to start over, restart, or reboot. Listen, your life is not a laptop. Wherever you fail in life, get up and keep going. Because the fact of the matter, you was probably halfway there. Don't start over. Get up and keep going. Now let's talk about this. You may be torn in this new chapter in your life. You're torn between the job you have right now or stepping out and doing your own thing, starting your own business, starting your own brand or whatever. If you have the vision, then you should go for it. Just be strategic with it. Don't break the bank. Remember, you still got to eat. Now, you may have fear in doing your own thing, but let me give you something that may encourage you. Companies pay enough to keep you satisfied. They pay just enough to make you comfortable. They pay just enough to get you to stay. When I think about the word satisfied and comfortable, the word complacency comes to my mind. Your life wasn't meant to be complacent. Your life was meant to achieve. It was meant to have more and get more. Do this. Take how much the company you work for now is worth and divide it by how much you make, and then see what the percentage is that you are getting paid. In this thing called life, you have to be competitive in this chapter you're in. I need you to realize that your biggest competition is yourself. You have to find a way to be better in 2023 than you were in 2022. It's all about your passion. An alarm clock shouldn't wake you up every morning. Your passion should wake you up. Now, in this next chapter, in this thing called life, I'm not saying that everything is going to be perfect. There are going to be some obstacles in your life. There are going to be some storms that may come, but you have to be like an eagle. The eagle uses the storm to reach its highest peak when it's flying. You're going to have to learn to use your toughest moments to get you to the next level. Treat your toughest moments as a footstool. It's going to only raise you higher. Let me say this to you. In this next chapter in this thing called life, you can't let people or a situation break you. You can't compromise the integrity and value of your life for nobody. What happens when somebody can't break you? They leave you alone, right? I remember when I was 13 years old, I asked my mom to sign a waiver for me to work at Burger King. She did, and I ended up getting the job. At first, I was on the fry station. Then the manager put me on the grill cooking hamburgers. He switched me in the middle of lunchtime, the busiest time of the day. He stood over me telling me to hurry up, telling me I was too slow. He just kept on. Then he finally stopped and looked at me and said, "I can't break you, can I?" I said, "No, it's just hamburgers." I said, "I ain't tripping over no hamburgers." After that, he never messed with me again. What am I saying? There are things that are going to happen in your life that ain't even worth you tripping over. Let it go. I need you to hear this. This thing called life is a long road, but the more you travel it, the better it gets. Keep going and don't turn back. And while you are traveling this road called life, opportunities are going to come. You can't fear opportunities. The bravest and the most important thing you can do is show up. Rise to the occasion. You're built for it. And I need you to realize that God has a purpose for everything that goes on in your life. God has a purpose for your pain, a reason for your struggles, and a reward for your faithfulness. You can't quit. You got to keep going. I'm going to leave you with this. Let today be the day you give up who you've been for so long and start being who you can become. And remember, out of all the things you're going to accomplish in your life, if you don't show love, then you haven't accomplished anything. I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that I am excited for where your life is going to take you, and you should be too. I heard a song today that said, "Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move." I need you to know that it ain't no stopping you now. You must stay on the move. Keep striving, keep pushing, and keep believing. You got this. Thanks for tuning in to Real Talk with Reginald D. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and rate us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Join us every Tuesday for new episodes on life, spirituality, and leadership development. See you next Tuesday. Happy New Year.